You think you did all the research, but you didn't think about X, Y, and Z. I don't know, Jane, if you've got any war stories that you feel comfortable sharing. And I know it's hard. Like, how do I share my vulnerability? How do I share my failures? But do you have any projects that you would feel comfortable sharing or any example case studies to say, hey, we really screwed up. Here's where we screwed up. Here's why we screwed up. And here's why I would have done it differently had I had the opportunity?
Absolutely. Everyone makes mistakes. If you don't allow that into your thinking as a manager or a person, you may not get very far, because mistakes have also led to great innovation. I'm going to use an example from another life that I had when I was working in Armenia to build a regulatory body. One of the things that I noticed right away when I was in Armenia, in Yerevan, was that my counterparts did not have computers on their desks. They did not have phones at their desks, and they didn't have a PBX, we put in 5, in the building they were in. And this was an oil, gas, electricity, water, and soon to be telecom regulator. So I was trying to work with them on some regulations and decided that I needed them to be able to communicate with our team better. And I thought I knew better than them about the importance of having the infrastructure in the building for everyone. What I didn't realize is that it was only the senior officials at that time, this was a long time ago, who were allowed to have the computers or the phones. So I came in like a gangbusters and said, gosh, here's what you need. And they said, really? And I thought, oh, here we go. Because we had purchased the phones and the computers and the PBXs, and we had already mapped out with the technical people, not the senior officials, what we needed to do to wire the building and to get people connected. So that was almost a crash and burn. And we were able to save it by encouraging them to understand why it was important. It was still very difficult to be allowed to train the people on the staff, the 80-something people that needed the connectivity, because they were doing all the work. We also had not built in the training program for the staff fast enough. So that was a big mistake. And so that was 15 years ago. I've learned a lot of lessons. I nearly had the head of the regulatory body kick me out of the country, but we did save it. It's a lesson learned in making sure that, again, setting expectations, but also knowing your audience and ensuring that they understand what's in it for them, even if you're in a different space and a way different power structure. And so we did succeed. And I will tell you that one day, one person said to me, why are you sending emails to somebody on a different floor in your building? I said, it's for efficiency. And they said, oh, we're running up and down with paper. This was 2006, 2005. And I said, gosh, there are ways we can fix that. So we did turn something that was not so fabulous into a success, but boy, was it painful along the way. I would just say really understand all the different layers in the bureaucracy and the organizations you're dealing with. I won't get into customs because that could have killed us on the equipment coming in, but that's a lesson for another day. But you do have to know all of the layers of the team that you're trying to work with and what the training for digital inclusion needs to be. We really hadn't thought about redundancy also with the network systems operators. And so we quickly figured that out. Anyway, that was part of the story. It wasn't a horrific one, but it was a good lesson learned at that time.